The Independence Day Investigation, a Detective Diaries tale. Act 1, The Briefing on the Mall.
The Capitol Mall smelled of overcooked hot dogs, cheap tinsel and impending doom. It was July the 4th, 2026. The United States of America was turning exactly 250 years old. Every politician in Washington was desperate for a slice of the historic glory, especially one man. Ronald J. Rump, currently serving his non-consecutive second term, had naturally branded the entire semi-quincentennial as
The greatest birthday ever told, sponsored by Rump Towers.
he had built a VIP podium twice as high as the Lincoln Memorial, forcing honest Abe Lincoln to look up at him. He wore a silk tie that reached his shins, flapping gently in the humid DC breeze. But 30 minutes before the global broadcast, his chief of staff burst into the office. His face was whiter than the Washington Monument. The centerpiece of the entire global celebration was gone. The original signed Declaration of Independence had vanished from its high security, gold-plated display case inside the presidential holding tent.
Had the media get a hold of this,
The chief whispered, sweating through his Brooks Brothers suit.
they'll say we lost democracy before the fireworks even started.
Act 2, Inside the Tent.
I walked into the presidential VIP tent on the mall. The interior was a circus of gold-painted furniture, velvet ropes, and a large ice sculpture of the president wrestling a bald eagle. The president himself was pacing the plush red carpet, his orange complexion glowing like a dying star under the fluorescent lights.
It's a disaster, Jim.
Ronald boomed, waving his hands like an invisible accordion, his voice echoing off the canvas walls.
Total disaster. The radical left the fake news. The Deep State Antiquities Department, they stole it. Beautiful parchment, the best handwriting you've ever seen, John Hancock. Tremendous signature, huge. Not as big as mine would have been, but big. We need it back in 10 minutes or the ratings for this anniversary will be lower than Jimmy Carter's, lower than The Apprentice season with Arnold. Total catastrophe.
Any signs of forced entry? I asked, looking at the empty glass case sitting on the center table.
None.
Said the Secret Service detail leader, stepping forward out of the shadows.
The log requires a retinal scan, a biometric thumbprint, and a 20-digit rolling passcode.
Who has the passcode? I asked. The agent glanced nervously at the president, swallowing hard.
Only the chief executive. He changed it yesterday because he said the algorithm was too biased. The new passcode is MAGA 250.
That passcode is a security masterpiece.
Rump interrupted, nodding sagely at his own reflection in the gold plating.
Nobody could guess it. The cyber experts came to me, tears in their eyes. They said, "Sir, how did you make a password so strong? It's unhackable."
Act 3, The Investigation.
I stepped past the president and approached the empty display table. There were no signs of lockpicking, no shattered glass, but as I leaned in, I noticed a distinct greasy residue smudging the edge of the velvet lining inside the case. It smelled faintly of artificial butter, processed cheese, and a light hint of Aquanet hairspray. On the floor, just beneath the rim of the table, a single crumpled wrapper caught my eye. I knelt down, my trench coat brushing the carpet, and picked it up with my pen. It was a bag of Doritos, nacho cheese, party size. I stood up and looked back at President Ronald. He was busy adjusting his hair in a vanity mirror, but his fingers caught the light. They were stained a vibrant, radioactive shade of orange. Not his usual hairspray orange. This was a powdery, snack food orange. Mr. President, I said, narrowing my eyes, when did you last see the document?
People are saying it was there an hour ago. Very smart people.
He deflected. turning away from the mirror and fluffing his tie.
But frankly, the document is overrated. Too many words, too many laws. It's got all these grievances against King George. King George, great guy, strongly denied doing anything wrong.
I met him, well, a guy named George, and he was very nice to me. I was thinking of rewriting the whole Declaration anyway, making it much better. Dictator for just day one. Beautiful clause, we should add that. The people want it.
The document is a federal treasure, sir, I replied dryly. And right now, it's missing,
Well, look at the fake news over there.
Rump said, pointing out the tent window towards the press risers.
They probably took it. CNN, crooked CNN. They want the anniversary to fail because they hate America and they hate my beautiful podium.
Act 4. The confrontation and reveal.
The clock on the wall was ticking down. 5 minutes to air. Outside, the crowd of 300,000 people was chanting, a low rumble that vibrated through the floorboards. I scanned the room one more time. My eyes drifted past the ice sculpture and past the teleprompters and landed on the president's custom golf bag sitting in the far corner of the tent. It was a massive gold-flecked leather beast with Rump 47 and 45 embroidered in bold lettering. Protruding out of the top, squeezed tightly between a gold-plated tailor-made driver and a velvet putter cover, was a rolled-up piece of yellow ancient parchment. I walked over, ignoring the frantic gestures of the Chief of Staff, and pulled it free from the bag. "Is this what you're looking for, Mr. President?" The document was a mess. It was covered in greasy orange thumbprints and aggressive thick black Sharpie marks. Thomas Jefferson's elegant sweeping cursive had been entirely crossed out with a single violent stroke. In its place, written in chaotic, towering capital letters across the top margin, it read, "Life, liberty, and the pursuit of total immunity."
Ah, you found it.
Rump clapped his hands together, completely unbothered by the desecration of history.
I was just doing some light editing, product improvement, they call it in business, correcting history. Jefferson, total loser, got caught in the rain during the convention. I like founding fathers who didn't get caught in the rain. And Benjamin Franklin, way too much printing, bad for the environment.
He reached out, grabbed the document from my hand, and looked at his Sharpie additions with immense pride.
Ah, you found it.
He murmured.
Look at my edition, total immunity. It reads much better now. Very legal, very cool. Now let's get out there. The ratings are waiting. We're going to do a tremendous speech, the biggest since Abraham Lincoln, maybe ever.
I watched him stride out of the tent, the tail of his long red tie trailing behind him like a safety hazard. I handed the defaced 250-year-old birth certificate back to the trembling Secret Service agent. Another case closed for the Detective Diaries. Some mysteries required deep deduction, international wiretaps and forensic science. This one just required looking for the guy with the orange thumbs. But in the end, it came up trumps. This has been me, Jim Luck, relating another tale from Detective Diaries.